Going upstairs. Okay, this macro is still the best macro I have. The new macro that somebody helped me put together. Careful those chainsaws. Make sure you are not standing in any of the saw blades. Watch that fire. You do not want to stand in any of that fire. Hello, Gonzo the producer. And welcome back. How have you been? Careful those chainsaws. Also, did you get anything good on your vault this week? Watch that beam. Make sure you're using interrupts and or CCs on the beam. Chainsaws again. Careful not to stand in any of those chainsaws. Flamethrower. Step left or right to avoid the flamethrower. 12% left on the boss. Or left on the ad. Careful those chainsaws. Shredded on 3000. I don't know who's named the Shredded on 3000, but they came up with an awesome name on that too. Pulling all the ads together. Ouch. Okay, number one rule as a tank. Never turn your back to the mobs. Getting rooted, getting rooted under all the fire and stuff, it's not good. Don't do that. That was on me. I should have been more careful about how I pulled. I should have pulled left. Oh, and we pulled up here somehow. Definitely don't pull those. Those guys shoot nasty stuff at the party. Okay, so what we should have done is we should have pulled this. Come around. Let him root me. Now that he's gotten his root over with, now add the extra ads. I forgot that we were running in 11, so we have to break up our pull a little bit. We did use hero. I don't disagree with the hero. I've just never seen hero used here. Pulling all the ads together. Careful of the ads. Survey beam. Watch that survey beam. Make sure you're getting that interrupt. Remember, if your interrupt is not on cooldown, you want to make sure you're pressing it. Even if it's not a priority interrupt, if there are a lot of casts going off and somebody else is covering all of the priority interrupts, I still recommend using your interrupt just on whatever ad you can use your interrupt on. And the reason I would recommend using your interrupt regardless is because most melee interrupts are going to be 15 seconds. So you're going to have your interrupt up repeatedly throughout the dungeon. Like, you literally have your interrupt up every 15 seconds. So you don't want to waste your interrupt by not using your interrupt or saving your interrupt for the perfect time. You want to make sure you are using your interrupt. On this pull, Trick Shot is going to be your priority interrupt, which means that is going to be the interrupt that you focus. The reason you focus Trick Shot is because Trick Shot's going to pick a random target and shoot that target with a burst of damage. You want to make sure that you are not that target, and the easiest way to do that is to interrupt. We also accidentally just pulled more. Again. I don't know how we keep pulling more. Careful those circles. Surprise inspection. Watch that in surprise inspection. Oh boy, it's the orb week. I didn't realize it was the orb week. Okay, so the affix this week. If you guys are wondering how to deal with this affix, because last time this affix was around, it took me all week to figure this out. Literally, my healer explained it to me. So if you're trying to figure out the affix this week and how it works, the orbs that spawn around you, there's like a balloon and then there's a rope that ties to you. These orbs that spawn around you, you want to make sure that you run them into a different party member. The orb isn't going to buff the ads just because it touched the ads. It's going to buff the ads when it times out. You have to make sure that the orbs are absorbed by every one of your party members before the timer runs out. So you have like 12 seconds, I believe, to absorb all of the orbs. So as soon as one orb shows up, just literally walk the orb into somebody in your party and it'll absorb into that party member. And it'll give you a buff and keep the mobs from getting the buff. So you want to make sure you get an orb, you walk it into your party. Careful with the frontals. Jump start. During jump start, you want to deal as much damage as you can to the boss. Don't forget that the boss is taking 200% increased damage during the jump start phase. During this Big Mama boss, you want to make sure that you focus down all of her ads, then focus down the boss itself. So first, focus down the boss's ads. After the boss's ads are dead, then focus on Big Mama. The reason you want to focus on the ads first is because these ads are actually, well, one, they're going to dash over you repeatedly, which sucks. But also, over time, the boss will actually build a shield where she'll put a shield on herself and you won't be able to deal any damage to her at all. If you focus down the ads and kill the ads, Big Mama will enter a phase where you deal 200% increased damage to her. So you want to make sure you focus down these ads right away and before you focus on Big Mama herself. So again, these orbs, all you have to do with these orbs is just run them into somebody and your whole party will get the buff from them. So right now we have absorbed 5 of 5 orbs and our mastery is increased by 20%. Our mastery is increased by 20%. Our leech is increased by 10%. Killed the ads. Focus on the boss. I actually didn't see the affix in the last key we ran, so I'm going to assume we were clearing the affix very well in the last key we ran. %4 left on the boss. Careful with that electricity. Watch the circles. Right now we're good to just focus Big Mama. I believe we will kill her before her shield comes back. Yeah. Alright, going upstairs. Pulling all the ads together. 12s don't have that affix. Oh, got it. That explains why I didn't see it. Make sure you're using CCs or interrupts on the ads. That's right, I forgot, because 12s have their own set of affixes. Honestly, the 12 did not go that bad. The 12 actually went relatively well. We ended up 10 minutes overtime, but we did pull the last boss twice. And on top of building the last boss twice, we did not skip the last ads going into the banner room. We should have skipped the last ad. That was bad call. That was bad tank call because I called that we should have pulled the pole. We should not have. So, overall, the key was not bad. If we could rock back into that 12 key with the same group, we would totally time it. Easy. We just have to fix 2 things. 1, banner boss. We need to skip that last ad. That's where we lost most of our time. And then 2, I missed how our healer died just now. And then 2 would be final boss. We did wipe on the final boss, which means even if we had skipped the banner boss appropriately, we probably would have wiped on the banner boss. Or the last boss. So 2 would be the last boss and focusing that down quicker. Watch those orbs. I gotcha. So we are waiting for our party to come back. Our party is currently running back to us. Careful with the missiles. Warped blood. Make sure you're using defensives if the warped blood is on you. Interrupt blood blast. Blood blast is going to pick a random target and shoot a blast of blood at you. Watch the missiles. Remember, when the missiles are coming out of the ads, they're not randomly placed circles on the ground. The missiles actually pick everybody in your party, and everybody gets one missile on them. So you want to be careful. Make sure you're not spreading all spread out, because the missiles, when they pick everybody, it's going to be very hard to dodge them. Warp blood. Careful with this warp blood. Alright, good news is that actually went relatively well. We are just waiting on our healer, and then we are good to pull. Wait a minute. Our priest is actually... He's actually power infusing the druid. That's hilarious. Druid said, sure, you can switch as long as you power infuse me. A priest is actually power infusing him. Careful with the scaffolding. Focus down the scaffolding. Test, test. There we go. We are back. Shredded on 3,000. Careful with shredded on 3,000. Saw blades. Make sure you are not standing in any of the saw blades. Flamethrower. Sorry about the beeping. I do stand on a lot of mechanics on this pull. Shredded on 3,000. Actually, we're just going to turn off the desktop audio during this pull, just because there are a lot of mechanics that it's really easy to stand in on this pull. Flamethrower. Careful with the flamethrower. Make sure you're stepping left or right to avoid the flamethrower cast. Shredded on again. Shreddation again. Careful with those saw blades. Make sure you are not standing in the saw blades. Flamethrower. Oh, priest accidentally pulled. I got you, priest. Watch those flamethrowers. We're going to try to focus down one of these shredded on guys. I'm going to eat all this. Grilled chicken. Yeah, I mean, you're a boonkin, so. Have you seen the movie Surf's Up? You should totally watch the movie Surf's Up if you have not. It's a cartoon, right? It's like a kid's cartoon, but it's hilarious. And there's a part in there where he is, I'm going to turn back on desktop audio because now there's less stuff to stand on. There's a part in there where the penguins are all surfing. That's what the movie's about, right? It's about the surfing penguins. But, yeah, you saw it a long time ago. Yeah, the surfing chicken is totally remind me of the chicken. Because he walks around, he eats that squid, and he's like, tastes like chicken. But he is chicken. That is a hilarious movie. Boomkin disconnected? Nope. Dude, don't say that. Alright, pulling the boss. Nice. Careful the wallop cast. Don't forget that the wallop cast is your tank buster. You want to make sure you're using defensive during the tank buster. Watch those bombs. Evoker and I both had the same idea, but... Okay, gonna take out the last bomb. Be careful not to get run over. Don't forget that you don't have to run all the way up to that bomb, because the boss is going to charge all the way until he hits a wall. He charges all the way to the wall. So you want to make sure that you are standing between the boss and the bomb. It does not necessarily matter if you are standing on top or behind the bomb. You just need to make sure that you are standing near the bomb, or in line of the bomb, and that you step out of the way before the boss charges over you. So right here, like, as a Death Knight, I'm not going to make it to there, so you can stand between the boss and the bomb and still take out the bomb. If you have a circle on you, you want to make sure you stand so that the circle overlaps the bomb. The circle needs to slightly overlap the bomb, so that when the healer dispels the circle, it takes out the bomb. That'll help take out extra bombs and keep your party from, well, dying. Careful those orbs. Wallop. Run the orb into him. Oh, his arrow, not mine. So right now, I'm like way on the other side of the map, and we have another bomb over here. There we go. 2, 1, perfect. 15% left on the boss. 19% left on the Gigawallop boss, or on Bront. Bront would be a totally awesome Mastiff's name. If you had like a Mastiff, that would be an awesome name for him. Careful with that frontal. We're gonna pull the ads in the middle of the map. Be careful with the mines that they put down. If you see the bombs that they put down on the ground, do not stand on the bombs. You want to be very careful with those and make sure you're stepping left or right to avoid those bombs. Careful the harpoons. Make sure you're interrupting the harpoons. Harpoon again. I feel like I was forgetting to do something. I don't know what I was forgetting to do. Harpoon, make sure you're interrupting the harpoon. Alright, pulling all the kelp guys together.
Scrabbling after any shred of control.
Be careful with these kelp guys. Remember the affix. As the tank, you want to make sure you're watching your orb, especially, we actually built an all-ranged group here. So you want to make sure that you are taking that orb out to your range if you need to take the orb out to the range. Just, if you have 1 or 2 melee, I suggest taking the orb out to the range. Left or right? Restoring algae. Make sure you're interrupting restoring algae. Anyone have a repair? He says thank you. Alright, good note on this boss. Don't worry about resetting him. You can move him wherever you want because this boss does... Oh, shoot. This boss does not reset easily. I've run this boss all the way to the other side of the room and he has not reset, so you want to be careful with that. Just keep in mind you're not going to reset this boss easily. Watch those waters. Don't forget, most of the time when you're dodging the waters, you are dodging with somebody attached to you. You want to make sure that you clear those waters. We are going left. Now, most of World of Warcraft's community has determined that left is a safe way to go. So if nobody clarifies a direction to go, I would assume the person you're tied to is going left. And the reason I would assume the person you're going to is going left is just because most of WoW's community, what I'm seeing right now, is everybody goes left on this boss. What do you guys think? Do you mostly go left on Swamp Face or right? Personally, I mostly go left. But I have seen certain circumstances where both party members decide to go right and it works out just fine for them. Oh boy. You guys want to finish for Cress? Jeff Side says left. You mostly go left? Yeah, that's what I see. Most parties, I see them going left.
After any shred of control.
17% left on the boss. Careful with the water. I'm going to be very careful this time not to yank the evoker. I actually killed the evoker last time because I walked one way and he walked the other and we pulled each other to each other. It's like the idea of the little guy gets hurt. Evoker's the little guy. Careful with the... Careful with the water. Watch that water. Bubbles. Pulling bubbles over. Yeah, we were talking about food the other day. Did you guys know you could actually use pumpkin as a substitute for bananas in most recipes? kind of a good note if you don't have any bananas, or if you're trying to do something different.
Feed on the void. Let its darkness fill you.
So half a cup of pumpkin is equivalent to 1 banana. I actually made pumpkin muffins the other day with banana bread recipe, and it worked out very well. Pulling bubbles across the bridge. Careful with the electricity. Make sure you're using CCs or interrupts on the electricity. I still have nightmares over mayo sandwiches. Hey, that's not bad. Wait, you have nightmares over the sandwiches, though? Did you even try it?
After any shred
It's not even that bad. They're actually good. Careful with the electricity. Oh, great, I died. You should totally try it, though. It's not that bad. Yeah, my grandmother loves cucumber and mayo sandwiches. I haven't tried cucumber and mayonnaise sandwiches. But, you know, it's worth trying. Have you tried cucumber and mayonnaise sandwiches? I do like cucumbers with salt on them. I know it's not necessarily good for you to put salt on food, but cucumbers with salt on them and watermelon with salt on them are both very good. Or tahini. If you haven't tried tahini, tahini is really good on cucumbers or watermelons. Yeah, salt and vinegar. Yeah, those are always good on cucumbers. That's always good. We are almost back in watermelon season. We're in spring right now, but we're almost back in watermelon season. And if you haven't tried watermelon with tahini, I totally would recommend it. I don't know if you can get a small bottle of tahini though. It's like a red seasoning. But it's really good. Careful electricity circles. We got 4 inches of snow coming tonight. Still not quite spring here. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, we're kind of in spring. We're in the... Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's not phase of spring. But definitely no more snow. But that's totally cool that you're getting snow. I saw this really cool thing on Pinterest. I don't know if anybody browses Pinterest, but I saw this really cool thing on Pinterest where it was like a duck and it was on the end of these like tongs. And basically you took the duck on the end of the tongs and you just grabbed the snow with it and it made a bunch of small snow ducks. That was totally adorable. Careful with lightning bolts. Make sure you're interrupting the lightning bolts.
Yes, what a discipline.
We're letting somebody else tank that ad because I don't know why it doesn't like me. Oh, dang. Killed our druid. Yeah, I want to start a garden, but we have months to go. And what are you going to plant in your garden? Like, do you grow like corn or tomatoes? Or, I don't know, those are the most common things I see people, or like herbs. See a lot of people grow herbs. I tried to grow Venus flytrap once, but he died. I don't know what happened to him. He just epically died. But he was really cool. He had a couple of little stems when we first got him, and then he got really big and full. He was like a huge Venus flytrap. And then one day he just shriveled up and died. I don't know if he wasn't eating or what.
Feed on the void. Let its darkness fill you.
But he was super full for a while, and it was totally cool looking. I want jalapenos, tomatoes, onions, and onions for salsa this year. Nice. Well, good note. The sharper a point your jalapeno comes to, the better they are. Hatch up, repair. One, two, three, four, five. They're waiting for me. I had a Venus flytrap. Did the same thing to me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he did that. I really like the Venus flytrap too. I raised a shrimp once too. I had a shrimp. He was taking care of a little tiny tank. It was like really small tank, like square. Oh boy. It was a really small tank. It was square. It was just big enough for a couple of shrimp. It's just him and his friend in there. And a tetra. And the little tetra eventually died. He lived forever, but eventually he died. And then it just had a shrimp and a snail in the tank for a while. But sadly, the snail went missing. And the shrimp died eventually. But I had grown some really cool plants in there. There was I don't remember what the plants were called, but there were some really cool plants in there with the shrimp. And I had a moss ball. This moss ball, it started out really small. It started to get really big. And the shrimp was taking care of the moss ball, and it got like huge. It's totally awesome. Also, I'm going to assume the snail didn't die. I just don't know where he went. Careful, it's Giga Zap. Make sure you're using defensives. Okay, you're fired. Careful with Giga Zap. Make sure you're using defensives during Giga Zap. Now the next kind of fish I would want though, if I got more fish, definitely be guppies. But you guys looked at pictures of guppies because they're totally cute. They come in a ton of different colors and shapes and stuff. Thunder Punch. Make sure you're using defensive during Thunder Punch. careful with the... Oh, shoot. I'm 1% short. I have to give you a shout out. You're the queen of multitasking. Thank you, Furrow. I'm not going to say I never get distracted, though. Sometimes I get distracted if I'm multitasking with too many things. When I'm streaming... I don't know where it is. We're going to pull at the end of the hall right here. When I'm streaming, I strictly watch... I have 2 chat windows open because my third one died. But I have 3 chat windows open. And then I have the game open. That's it when I'm streaming. And then I have Discord open on the side in case anybody messages. When I'm not streaming, I typically either watch YouTube, Twitch, Netflix. I listen to audiobooks, musicals. Normal music, random YouTube music. YouTubers make some cool remix songs. Or what else do I do? I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a picture of my screen sometime. Because I do a lot more when I'm not streaming than when I am streaming. What are we sharing here? Oh, interrupts. I got a sword. That's cool.